Welcome to 24 Hour Sports. Today we got a special guest on here to talk about some playoff basketball. That's Keywan Humphreys.
What's going on, y'all? Q1 Humphreys. I'm a student down here at Georgia Southern. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sports reporter with the Georgians, your newsroom. Appreciate my boy Daryl for having me, man. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna start it off. What what series spark your interest? Like, what you think are the best series in the playoffs right now?
Bro, I don't know. Because look, the Warriors and Kings series, I know it's 2-0 right now. But they got to go back to San Fran. So I don't think that series is over. You got the Suns and Clippers. I mean, dog, they finna get in the game too tonight.
Yeah.
That's finna be crazy. All right, if I was to pick one, I'd probably go, then you got Lakers and Grizzlies. Ooh, I'm gonna go Suns and Clippers. Just cause, this the first series with Chris Paul and KD and Book and them together, and they playing up against Kawhi. Game 1, Kawhi looked like 2019 Kawhi. If he keep that up, boy, they finna what? Then you got Russ and KD. So I'm gonna go Clippers and Suns. That's the series that I'm looking forward to.
That's interesting you say that because I do like that series. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the series, but it's kind of like without Paul George, it's like I feel like the Suns. I feel like the Suns supposed to win, even though I feel like the Clippers are a deep team because they got people off the bench, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann, they got all those players. But I do think that's an interesting series. Now, a series I do like, I still like the Lakers and the Grizzlies. I just gotta see. I gotta see if John Morant come back. That's what I gotta see. So I like that series too. I think as far as now, see, the interesting thing about the Suns and the Clippers, that might be it shouldn't be competitive, but it is competitive. So it's like I want to see how much games that go. Now we got some other series that's kind of like I think the Kings and the Warriors. That's probably the best series right now. Like you said, it's 2-0, but it don't feel like it's 2-0. And then they still got to go on the road. The Warriors, a home team, they've been terrible on the road all season. So it's like you want them to win against the Kings, but they just didn't look good in those first 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have still won those first 2 games. Now, it's not like these were 2 blowout games. They still could have won those 2 games. And then you got the whole Draymond situation. So it's a lot going on, but I think that's a good series. Now, what team you think looked the best so far?
Look the best so far. I mean, naturally you gotta look at Denver. Yeah. I know they played probably one of the worst teams in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
But they looked crazy. They won by what? They was up by 30 going into the fourth. Only gave up 58 points through 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And that's Denver. Like, they're not even thought of as a defensive team. So, I mean, of course, you got to look at Denver. I also look at Boston. Boston killed Atlanta. And they Boston been looking good all year. But they kind of slowed down through the second half of the season. I think you can see them really starting to pick it back up for the playoffs, trying to get back to the finals. But I'm going to go Denver. They won by the most points this weekend. And then they got to play that team a couple more times. So, yeah.
Yeah, that feel like I like Denver. I like that pick. I just feel kind of safe. That feel kind of safe to me because they by natural they supposed to win. Like the Timberwolves got a lot going on. Jaden McDaniels, he punching stuff. He took his own self out the playoffs.
Took himself out the playoffs.
So I don't know how to feel about that. But as far as the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, I think he's still actually dealing with a shoulder injury. He playing, but he not really 100%. And then overall, that team, Nas Reed hurt, so it's like the team fell apart. They not supposed to win anything. But I think last night the Kings. It's hard for me to say. I feel like it's kind of early to say a best team, but I like the Kings because the thing for me is the offense and the fact that they held the Warriors. The Warriors didn't score a lot of points. Actually, looking at the score, 106 to 114. So holding the Warriors to 106 for the Kings, that's like a big accomplishment, to be honest. That's what I question because I like that team, and the question was when they get in the playoffs, all that offense go out the window because it's different, playoff basketball. But they still looking pretty. They had a bad shooting night last night, but they still got 114 points. They still played defense. So overall, I like that. And I think that's a team, a lot of people discounting them, because it's their first year since the 2000s being in the playoffs. But I still like them. I think some other teams looking good too. Los Angeles. I mean, nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to talk about it, but the Lakers look good. If AD can stay healthy, and then they got Rui Hachimura playing like he an all-star player. Austin Reeves still playing good. So I think those are pretty solid teams. But I like the teams you picked too because Denver. I mean, you got to give it to. I don't know. It's like when I watch Denver, it's just something not right. It's like something missing when I watch Denver.
Yeah.
I gotta see in the second round and the third round. That's when I start to think more of Denver. I mean, they was the number 1 seed. You gotta respect that. But I still want to see a little bit more out of them now. What team you think has been the most disappointing?
It's early. It's early, bro. But I gotta go. I gotta go Golden State for real. I gotta go Golden State, and I know. Everybody say the series don't start to a road team wins, but you kind of just went to the series. Okay, Warriors been here before. Kings never been here before. They gonna take at least one in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Warriors, it's like they have no continuity. Wiggins just now getting back. He's been out for a couple months. GP just started playing his first games back with Golden State like last week. So they don't have no, that chemistry they had is not there. Jordan Poole.
He playing terrible. He playing terrible.
You can't play him. You can't play him because he can't guard nobody. And if he's not going crazy on offense, he's just out there. Last night, I think he went 1 for 7 last night with 4 points. Then played 16 minutes. This the dude, everybody's okay. He the next Curry or whatever. He Curry 0.5 or whatever. And you can't play him because he ain't playing no defense. They hunting him. They're hunting him when he's on the floor. And if he's not scoring, you got to sit down, bro. We can bring in DiVincenzo to at least guard somebody, GP to guard somebody. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors.
Yeah, I think that might be my pick. Other than that, I'm gonna get back to the Warriors, but I think the Suns too, just because.
Yes, yeah.
Just because
we expect so much more out of it.
I just no Paul George. Like how? I don't get it. But I do think, like you said, the Warriors, it is kind of, now they are playing a good team as well. It's not like they're playing a bad team and just losing. But like you said, Jordan Poole, you can't play. He just got the rookie max.
He just got the rookie max.
He coming off of that. And he playing 16 minutes in a playoff game. If I'm Steve Kerr, and another thing I saw too, Steve Kerr, he was talking. He was saying, turnover is not a problem. Then they keep turning over the ball. It's like
turning the ball over. Yeah.
I want to know what you think about this, but I've been saying when I watch the Warriors, they take terrible shots. Now it's like because you got Steph and Clay. That's like two of the top 3, top 5 best shooters of all time. So it's like they get a pass for taking these shots. But at what point is you gonna seriously look at the shot selection and say we gotta get something better than that? Like Klay Thompson, they just jack threes. I mean, they can do that, but it's like sometimes you just gotta get a little better than that. Now, what I do want to get into though, what you think about the injuries? Like so far, you got Ja, you got Giannis, Tyler Hero broke his hand. I mean, how do you feel like that's affecting the playoffs?
Bro, it's tough, bro, because it's like. I'm gonna get into Hero in a second, but looking at mainly Giannis and Ja, those are two of the biggest stars in the league, and they're like that's a money thing. We coming into the playoffs. Okay, we gonna see Bron and them versus Ja and them, and Ja getting hurt. That's hurting the league. That's hurting the viewership. People gonna watch it because it's Bron, of course, but it don't got the same pull as it did if Ja was still playing. Giannis. He got hurt off that charge call. I see a lot of people talking about and this is crazy to me. They're talking about we need to take the charge out the game or whatever. That's wild to me, but I understand. Like, undercutting somebody going for a charge, that's a very dangerous play. Because that's how both of them got hurt. That's how both of them got. They both got hurt off a undercut charge play. It's just real dangerous. The injuries, I mean, it's just bad luck. We saw the same thing in 2020, 2021. When the Hawks made it to the conference finals because Embiid was hurt, and we saw Harden and Kyrie go down, and Bucks got to the finals, and even Giannis got hurt. So I just think it's just bad luck. There's not really much anybody can do about it, really.
Yeah, I think it's tough. Like, the question that I already said, I already made a video on the whole topic talking about it, but it's like this regular season. And you can even look, it's a lot of people talking about it, all stars. It's one thing, if the eighth man or the seventh man off the bench, if he get injured, that's one thing. Yeah. But it's stars getting hurt consistently in big games. Now you look at the All-Star break, nobody want to participate, nobody want to be in the dunk contest. The All-Star game, it's no defense. They just walking up and down the court. So it's so when I think about it, and it's been so much this season. I mean, you think about a game, because remember, Jokic and Embiid in the MVP race, and then the injury, and that really that catapulted Embiid into the lead. So it's you trying to see a game. It's the late in the season. You got Embiid versus Jokic. You can't even see the matchup because it's the critical, because whoever played better in this game, that's the MVP. That's what we gonna go with. But it's you don't even get a game like that. So what I've been thinking as far as how do you fix it? Is it the game itself, or is it the wear and tear? Is it too much games in the season? I feel like it's too much games. Now 82, that's always been the thing. But the way people play now, the game faster, the back-to-backs is getting crazy. It's what you think about it?
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. We're playing a lot of games. It's the regular season don't even matter no more. That's kind of how it appears. Especially with the play-in now. If you top 10, then you're going to have a shot to get in the playoffs. So it feel like the regular season don't matter anymore. So why are we playing so many games? And they finna implement this play-in, not just play-in, but this in-season tournament that nobody's going to want to play in. It just don't make no sense to me. And now they doing a lot to try to make players play with the new CBA where you got to play 65 games to be eligible to win an award. But I just feel I seen something. They was talking about how, especially in our generation now, the AAU circuits and stuff, you coming up playing 4 games a day for a whole summer. Then you go to college and you playing, and now you in the league playing back-to-backs, traveling and all that. They lifting mad heavy and stuff. It's too many moving parts. You know what I'm saying? They're not really giving the players' bodies a chance to really cool down. They playing basketball at the highest level. They're super athletes, essentially. Their bodies they're not immortal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you, to touch on that AAU point you made, I feel AAU, especially now, it's crazy. You got all these different YouTube channels covering the games, following the players and all that stuff. It's we watching these players grow up. Now you think about it back in the day, NBA players, they always played basketball when they was young, but it's now AAU, we starting with 8-year-olds. It's younger and younger and younger. So I mean, by the time you get to the NBA, you already got the miles on your body. You got the mileage of a 5-year vet, and you just a rookie. So it's your knees torn up, your back, your arms, your legs, everything torn up. So I don't know how they can fix it, but I feel like it gotta be some real conversations about it because it's getting worse. And I think we already saw the injuries. We only game 2. So think about who knows what's gonna happen tonight. It's not wishing injuries on the players or nothing like that. But it's it's what we used to at this point. So think about it. By the time we get to the finals, who knows? Who knows how the team's gonna
be in it?
Who knows? That's why I say when I talk about the contenders, it's some good teams. I think it's about 4 or 5 teams I give a real shot to win the championship. But I mean, it's all about who's the healthiest. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna ask you that question though. What you think about the true contenders? It's far as what you know from the regular season and so far, who you think can really come out and win it?
I definitely see them top three in the East with the Bucks, the Celtics, and the Sixers. With the West is tough. The West is tough. Like you said earlier, I'm not a real believer in Denver. I don't know what it is. I don't really believe in them. They could prove me wrong though. Of course you got the Suns. Of course you got you gotta throw the Lakers in there.
Yeah.
The Clippers, they making a believer out of me. But with them, that's help for them. That's been their whole issue since Kawhi and PG got there. The Warriors, it's tough. The West is tough. The way I see the West is like, I see the West, whoever the healthiest and whoever the hottest is gonna make it. You know? Because if everybody get broken up, then the Kings could easily get to the finals. Well, not easily, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if I were to pick everyone being healthy, I would go to the top three in the East. I'd go the Suns, the Lakers, and the Warriors.
Suns, Lakers. Yeah, Suns, Lakers, Warriors. I see you. Yeah. So just based off right now, I feel like I gotta put you might not put the Kings in there, but I think at least the Kings or the Nuggets. I'll take the Warriors. Yeah. I mean, they do have, the experience. They've been there before. But it's like, I think the worst part about the Warriors and what's going to really come back to hurt them, when Klay Thompson was missing seasons and Curry was missing seasons, they had high draft picks. You gotta hit on those draft picks. You could have really built a team, a young team. Because this probably, honestly, this might be Draymond last year in the Warriors, unless he take a major pay cut or something like that. I mean, you really got him, Wiggins, Poole, and Klay. And Klay, I mean, his contract situations even with him. So I feel like outside of that, you don't really have nothing. Because think about it. Yeah. Say hypothetically, Klay Thompson, you can't start Curry and Poole. That's terrible. You can't do that. So
they're not guarding nobody.
So it's like, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, they traded Wiseman. So it's like those types of picks, like you gotta build. How often is it the Warriors gonna have a high pick like that? And they got James. Now James Wiseman, like out of college, he was deserving of that pick. But it's like player development, anything, it's like something. Yeah. It never panned out like that. So I feel good about the teams in the West now. What you think about the Sixers? Cause I feel like
Sixers. Go ahead.
I just feel like that's a team. Like, they winning, but it's like nobody want to take them serious. And why nobody want to take them serious. I mean, Harden. Nobody want to. Yeah, Harden. nobody want to take him serious.
Hey, you're right. Harden, he played sorry last night. And they was able to win. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like with them, with the top three teams in the East, it's a toss up to me. Because Embiid just so crazy. Like, he hit that fadeaway jumper last night to like put the game away. I don't think there's nothing you could do with Embiid to where you trying to do everything to stop him. Everyone else getting wide open shots. That's how they've been playing all year. Yeah. Then you let Harden cook, which could be a good thing or a bad thing in the playoffs. But it's just like Philly. I'm a believer, but I'm not sold on them. I wouldn't be shocked if they make the finals, but I wouldn't be shocked if they don't either. Yeah. It's just the track record that they built for themselves.
Yeah, I think to me it come down to Boston and Milwaukee, and that's like that's some heavy hitters. That's some heavy hitters. Because the only thing I feel like what kind of messed up Boston a little bit is like the whole Jaylen Brown situation. Yeah, like not knowing if he honestly, I was watching. It's like if he make All NBA, then he eligible for the for like $100 million more in his contract, and they're the only team that can offer him that. So I think he could make all. Now it's stacked as far as would you put him at the guard or forward in the All NBA? What you do?
Are they?
I feel like it's kind of positionless though.
Yeah, I don't know if they start this year, they start next year, but they were talking about making it positionless.
Yeah, so that's interesting because I mean, if he don't make All NBA, I don't see him being there. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see him on his own team, but as far as like this season, I think it's just like consistency. Consistency kind of boring. Like we saw them last year; they were a great team. Got a new head coach in that Joe Mazzulla, still a great team. I mean, so it's like that's what we got now in Milwaukee. It's so mixed. I think people just like Giannis and Jason Tatum. He nice too, but I'm not seeing a lot of people feeling about the Celtics like they felt last year. Because last year, everybody wanted the Celtics to win, and I feel like they melted down in the finals. I mean, turnovers, it was crazy. But I think this year, Malcolm Brogdon, that's a great addition. That's gonna serve well in the playoffs. But I don't know the Bucks. I don't because it's like even with the Bucks can match up with anything. Like if you're a perimeter scoring team, they can match up with you. They got Drew Holiday, Diva, they got everybody. So it's like if you're a team who like to get to the paint, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, all of those guys, even Grayson Allen playing solid. So I mean, they got everything they can really come at you with. And then Chris Middleton, I feel like he's healthy now. So I don't know. Giannis. I don't know what to say about Giannis because it's like he's just crazy now. He was always good, but it's like now. I mean, the post game, we already know he's doing what now. Yeah. It's like and then Brook Lopez. See, the key thing about every team need a Brook Lopez, but it's like that's so hard to find because Brook Lopez, he can get you 3 blocks, then he can hit 3 threes. So it's like, a lot of times I was thinking about this when I was watching the game last night. I was like, Sabonis is crazy. Like people talk about Jokic, Sabonis and Sacramento doing basically the same thing. So it's like he crazy, but if they just had like that true rim protector, I was like, if you could play Sabonis with like a Brook Lopez or like if you had a Bobby Portis, like just play him with a rim protector in that lineup. That team would be so much different. Cause I mean, defensively, they're not really a good defensive team. Yeah. So it's like, but I think the Bucks go give everybody something to handle. It's just going to depend on health. Like at the end of the day, it's going to depend on health. But the Kings, I like the Kings. It's just like they make you want to watch basketball. Like the offense is beautiful. Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, like Harrison Barnes playing solid. Like everything about that team is just. I don't know. I feel like this is a barring injury. As long as injuries don't keep ramping up and it's just kind of steady. This is gonna be a great playoffs because we don't know. Yeah. We don't know honestly. Like I can, like you said, you can make the case for the Suns, any of those teams, but honestly, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if it's not the Bucks or the Celtics, then questions start to come in. Now, last thing I want to talk about, I'm gonna ask you, what's like your dark horse team? Like who been going under the radar? Like you see Miami beat Milwaukee. The Knicks, like who your undercover team?
Under the radar. I gotta go. I was saying one thing about Miami. I'm gonna go on Miami. Miami, my dark horse team. Because Miami, that's just a team you don't want to play. You don't want to play them. They play defense. Jimmy can go get you a game he can go get you a game or 2 by himself. Yeah. Then you got all them shooters with him. One of them shooters gonna get off one of these games, drop 30 by themselves. Then they play defense. That's just not a team you want to. It's like they match up with everybody really well. You saw what they did. We saw they pushed They pushed Boston in 7 games last year. Yeah. And we knew We knew that the Bucks Heat series was gonna be good before Giannis got hurt. If Giannis is hurt now and he's supposed to be out for a little minute, they might not get out of Miami. Yeah. So I'm going Miami. I think Miami. That's just a team. Yes, Jimmy and a bunch of others, but if them others step up just a little bit to help them out, they can make some noise.
Yeah, I like the Heat. I think the only thing for me is like Bam Adebayo. He's not aggressive enough. Like don't get me wrong. On defense, he playing night in, night out, but I feel like he can average more. He can average 5 more points. he just in certain situations, it's like when he starts to take over, he gonna take over. It's like
he gonna take over.
It's one way or another. Either he's super passive or he gonna take over. And like that's just not, you know, I want to see him do that on a consistent basis because he can. Like he can put the ball on the floor, he can shoot the mid range, he can get to the like he can do it all. He got the skill set, but it's just a mindset thing. It's like people say, you know, the difference between AD and Giannis is AD. Giannis just wants it more than AD. That's what it come down to. So it's like you got the talent. So I do respect them. Now I'm gonna be honest. I got an under the radar team. I've been talking about them for a good minute. Nobody really want to jump on the bandwagon just yet, but they gonna be patient. I like the New York Knicks.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
I think, now, New York Knicks, it's like they got pieces. The pieces is not the problem. Now, Julius Randle, you probably feel, I don't know how you feel about him, but Julius Randle, he on and off. He Julius Randle at the end of the day. So it's like, but outside of that though, I like the piece of Jalen Brunson. That was a real nice pickup. He played good in game one. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, they have pieces to match up good with a lot of teams. So it's like the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they don't have enough depth right now. They got Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. They just their bench is just very average. I ain't gonna say it's terrible, but it's very average. So that's not gonna work in the playoffs. I mean, I was looking at the minutes. Just about all their starters, 35 plus minutes. So it's like that's not gonna work, especially over 7 games. That might get you 1 game, but you know that you're gonna be worn out by the time you get to the end of the series. So I like the Knicks. I think they play defense, and it's like you really gonna count on Jalen Brunson and Randall, but outside of that, they got Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, so it's like any one of them can step up and have a huge game. So I think that's a dark horse team. Tom Thibodeau, we know. So and they're a deep team. They played about 8-9 players, so that's a big thing in the playoffs. So I like them. You know, I like Miami too. In the West, I don't think there's no undercover team because
the West is they all nice. They all nice.
Yeah, it's like the West is so stacked. Like you see the Sevens, the only team that you feel like shouldn't be there is the Timberwolves. That's it. I wish the Thunder would have made it. I did want to see Shea in the playoffs, but we didn't get that. But that's interesting. That's real interesting. I do like some of those teams, and I think, like I said, coming back to it all overall, I do think when it's all said and done, Milwaukee. As long as Giannis is 100%, they do everything good. So that's how I feel about that. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. You know, had some good topics talking about the playoffs. You know, I'm just interested to see. We got some good games tonight. Knicks versus Cavs, Clippers versus Suns, Hawks, Celtics. So we just gonna see what happens tonight. We're gonna come back, you know, another video. We're gonna have to update this and some more games come on. So
bring me back.
Yeah, so thank you for joining the channel today, talking about some playoff basketball. You know, like you said, where can everybody find you at?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at KejuanNH. That's KejuanNH. And you can also follow us on Your Newsroom at your_newsroom on Instagram.
All right, there you have it. So thank you everybody for watching today's episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you like the video. Comment. Let us know what you think about what we said, because we're going to come back with some more takes. We're going to let you know what we think about these playoffs. But thank you for watching today. That's going to do it. We out.